Alright, this is it. I finally completed season 1, 2, and 3 of Avatar The Last Airbender. Got the reviews out for you guys. You can watch them at any time. But now, I am going to do the complete series review and give my final grade for the series overall. So, Avatar The Last Airbender. What do I think as a collective whole? It's like watching a 3-part movie. 1, 2, and 3, and done really freaking well. Matter of fact, it was done phenomenal. Like the boulder, it was done so great that this series is one of the greatest of all time. And today, I'm gonna review it as complete series, season 1, 2, and 3, and wrapping it up for Avatar The Last Airbender. And this is like my final thoughts on the series. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns series reviews. This is the season, this is the spin-off series of Movie Breakdowns where I do TV show reviews, and I review each season of a TV show and do a final collective series review at the end. And this is today's version of Avatar The Last Airbender. This is the series review, the final series. It's like the final review for the whole series, the whole encompassing thoughts and everything that goes into it. Like, this is pretty much, if you've seen season 1, 2, and 3, this is like the complete summary of all that in one. And this should be a short video, hopefully, we'll see. It won't be an hour long, I guarantee you that. But this is it. So what's my final thoughts on it? Like, rewatching the series over and over again, I do it all the time. I'm not really a fan of season 1. Never really watched that one that much. I watch season 2 and season 3 like all the freaking time. Anytime I get bored and want to throw an episode on, this is like my Office. People say, I watch The Office just for background. I watch Avatar The Last Airbender as background. Especially season 3, because every time something like a big moment happened, I will stop and watch and see what's going on. I've seen it 1,000 times. The artwork in the whole series is great. It progresses throughout the season. That's what I like. You see them try things in season 1 that probably didn't work so well, and then season 2 they clean it up, and season 3 is like, we got it done. Perfecto. Like, the artwork is great, the styling is great, the 2D animation, the 3D animation is phenomenal, the voice acting is great, the writing for the show is great, the script for the show is great, the line delivery that the voice actors have to give is great, and each character has their own distinct voice, so they don't all sound the same. A lot of shows I watch, you hear characters that kind of sound the same and similar. Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho with Genkai and Frieza, they sound the same. There's people in this series that I didn't know was from other stuff. Clancy Brown is in this. Mark Hamill is in this. Freaking Jason Isaacs from Harry Potter is in this series, and I had no idea. Just listen to their voice, you don't catch that. Like, Clancy Brown does so much stuff. Mr. Krabs was in my Avatar The Last Airbender. What the heck? It's crazy. Freaking Luke Skywalker's in my Avatar The Last Airbender, which is even perfect because when I explain the seasons, I think of Star Wars, which I'm not sure Star Wars was like one of the first movies to do this, where the season 1, book 1 or movie 1 is like the setup for everything, and then book 2 the bad guys win, season 2 bad guy, or movie 2 bad guys win, and then movie 3 is like the good guy triumph again, which is the hero journey. Like, the high, the low, the high again, and finish off the high part. This series does that. Season 1 feels rushed in a sense, like, because you're learning about everything. You're learning about, the characters and Aang's backstory, and it's more Katara and Sokka's backstory. You get a little bit of Zuko's backstory. You get all this stuff in this 20 episode season, and then when they finally get to the Water Tribe, which is like the last 4 episodes, the last 2 episodes, last 4 to, I think it's 4 to 3 or no. The last 2 episodes, that's when Aang really learns waterbending. And it kind of rushed it all at once, but as a cartoon, you can do that. In season 2, you meet his earthbender teacher within first, like, episode 5 or 6. And then from there, he is learning how to earthbend throughout the whole season, the rest of the season. There's 20 episodes, so he has 14 episodes left to learn how to earthbend. And then at the end, the good guys who thought they were going to win gets beaten by the bad guys, and they have to escape, and you think Aang got killed, like, what's going on? In season 3, it's like foot of season 1, where Zuko, who was the antagonist to Aang, now has everything he wants, and Aang, who, you know, had everything he had, like pretty much himself, and didn't lose to begin the season, now is like in book 3 has everything to lose, and he feels like he lost his honor, and feels like he didn't step up to the plate and be the Avatar he should have been. It is so good. It is so written. It's written so well. Like, I don't understand. You know, it's just great how it's done. And every time I watch it, I'm like, this is phenomenal. And you watch it back, and you're like, oh man, I didn't catch it the first time. I remember the very first time I watched Avatar The Last Airbender, I thought Zuko was a jerk. I didn't understand why he was doing it. And then I watched it again, the season reviews, like, it made sense. And they never point him out as a bad guy. Zuko did things where, like Kyoshi Island season 3, or season 1, episode 3, where they burned the island down, but they never really hurt anybody. They just pretty much put the place on fire, and Aang ended up putting the water, using the sea serpent, and, you know, put the fire out with the sea serpent water hydro cannon attack. But Zuko never really killed anybody. He never really harmed anybody. He just told people to get out of his way. He's looking for the Avatar. Versus Zhao, who actually would harm people and put people in harm's way. Zuko never did any of that. He was just trying to capture the Avatar to get his honor back and reclaim himself, go back home. He just wanted his daddy's love. And then season 2, he learns, you know, he learns about the Earth Kingdom and how the war affects people, and he's now a refugee, and he's trying to live with his uncle as a, you know, refugee in Ba Sing Se, and then becomes good and had that taken away from him when his sister's like, your dad wants you back. His love for his father still overtook his morality and his morals. And then finally in season 3, he realized what he was doing was wrong, and he shouldn't have done that, and he has his morals come back. And he realizes having his father, having everything he wanted, is not all it's cracked up to be. Great, just great writing. Versus Aang, who had learned to accept himself and learned to accept who he really is. He was running away from who he was in season 1, and season 2 he kind of becomes more and more accepting of the fact that he's an Avatar, and then he goes to grief and loss with Aang being, and Aang, but Appa being stolen, and then he accepts that and understands that it's part of war and everything, gets Appa back, has everything he wants at the end of the season, and then loses all within one lightning strike in a split second, and then he has to get it all back in season 3 and save the world. It's great stuff. It is great stuff. The villains, however, in the series is probably where in the movie, where the series lacks at. The villain, like, they're all great villains, but they're not really, besides Azula, there's not really a big, like, growth development with them. Like, you get Zhao in season 1, who's the antagonist to Zuko, and he's more the main villain, but really he's not the big baddie. He's just kind of there, like, he's the one that points out, because he's a little bit above Zuko. Zuko's like the main bad guy, but then there's a race between Zuko and Zhao to capture Aang, and they butt heads with each other. So it's like a three-way there, triangle between, you know, antagonists and good guys. Like, Aang has beef with both of them, Zuko has beef with both of them, and Zhao has beef with both of them, and they kind of play off each other. So it's kind of a three-way with the conflict, with Zhao kind of being just a little more of the generic bad guy. Like, you know he's there, but you don't care about him. And then you have Azula in season 2, who just pretty much, you don't get much backstory behind her. The fact that she's always been bad, you do get that she's always been bad, a conniving person, and you don't understand why she's like that. You just know she's born that way, and she looks up to her father, she looks up to her grandfather, so therefore she wants to be powerful and ruling and threatening as they are. So I guess she does get a little backstory there. She does get some backstory, and you kind of pick that up. And then season 3, when she loses control of everything, she kind of loses it. It happens in such a quick manner, though. It happened like the last 3 episodes or 4 episodes of the season. Actually 5. Yeah, last 5 episodes of the season. But 6 actually, last 6, because it was the Boiling Rock, when she loses her friend's trust, and then her brother runs off, and then after that, like, her father decides to go become the Phoenix King, and she's like, why are you leaving me behind? And she starts slipping. She's slipping more and more, and she realizes she doesn't have as power and control that she thought she did. So she was done well, and her character arc kind of grew up from season 2 to season 3. And then there's Fire Lord, who is the main bad guy throughout the whole season, who's played by Mark Hamill, which, what the heck? I can't believe he played the Fire Lord. Luke Skywalker is the Fire Lord. He became Vader. But Mark Hamill, Fire Lord is literally just the pure bad guy. He wants to, rule the world and wants to make the Fire Nation the most powerful nation of all time, and he will burn other nations to do so. And that's it. Pretty much taking what his grandfather said, who wanted to spread the wealth and the prosperity of the Fire Nation was going through with the world, but he wanted to do it as conquering them. He pretty much passed it down to his son, Azuline, who passed it down to not Iroh but Ozai. And Iroh, who was Ozai's brother, he was in this movie. He's like the opposite of Iroh. Kind of like Zuko and Azula. Iroh and Ozai is opposite, and Iroh did some bad things too, and he says, I did something in my past I'm really fond of, but he understands that it's not just about world domination, world should be peaceful. So he steps out of it, especially after his son's death. He really doesn't partake in war anymore. Another thing I want to talk about here is the world building. This series really encompasses the whole world. They show you every part of it. You get to see the South and North Pole and how they different from one each other. You get to see every different air temple and how they're set up. You also get to see the Earth Kingdom and the Fire Nation. You get to see all of that, and it don't just tell you what the world is about. It doesn't tell you this is Ba Sing Se, the capital of the world, stuff like that. It's a capital of the Earth Kingdom. It just it shows you it. It shows you different levels of the group of traveling through Ba Sing Se. They get to see the different levels and different rings. It doesn't just tell you, it shows you. And this show does a great job doing that. It shows you how the Fire Nation thinks and how their students are taught about the war. It shows you that. It don't just tell you how it is. Aang goes to school and experiences that. It's not some random person telling, oh, this is why the kids think this way. That's how we got into this mess. No, it shows you. It shows you what the air temples are like and how each one is different, and what the northern air temple is like, what the southern air temple is like, the eastern and west. It shows you all that as well. You also get to see how the water tribe different from one another. They're the same elements, but the northern water tribe have more traditional things, but the southern water tribes are more like nomads and more like, Native Americans of the West Plains, where this is a United States reference here, guys, but the West Plains where the Native American lives in tents and stuff like that. It wasn't really like, towers and buildings and stuff like that, versus the northern water tribe has towers and buildings, and the southern water tribe has like canoes and tents. It is not canoes, but igloos and tents. Canoes and tents. What the heck canoes? But igloos and tents. And it's done really well. I love the world building in this. You get to see how people were experiencing the war, from the refugees to the freedom fighters to the students of the Fire Nation to the Water Tribe family members. You get to see everybody's reaction, how they feel about certain things. Especially in season 1, when the kids are traveling from the south to the north and they're going to different villages and different temples and different things. They see how the world is affecting people. There's so many prisons in this series. So many different prisons. It makes no sense. I'm pretty sure there's like 5 different prison scenes in the Avatar The Last Airbender. It's like so many of them. Which I guess it makes sense. They get put in and out of jail because they're trying to escape the Fire Nation and they try to help other people. But there's so many different prison scenes. It's ridiculous. So many prison episodes. Like, capture happens a lot in Avatar The Last Airbender. A lot of capture. A lot. But yeah, and I like how the series uses different elements and different people to teach things. Like the Earth Tribe, or the Earth Kingdom, are strong people and they're stubborn and bold, and that's where you get Toph, and she's that way. She doesn't change. Toph doesn't have much of a character growth besides her realization of her family, which is like 2 episodes, but she is the goofy character, the comic relief, who is also strong, badass character. Katara grows in season 1 a lot, and she stays the same way. She's still a motherly figure who helps the group out. Sokka grows from this misogynistic jerk to understand that everybody can be warriors and everybody's a powerful people, and he grows into be a great leader himself. Aang doesn't change. Well, Aang does change. He understands who his role is, but as far as like his core character, he's still a pacifist. He doesn't want to kill people. He doesn't want to hurt people, and he stays that way throughout the whole season. His knowledge and growing up, his background shapes who he is, and he just has to accept that he's the Avatar. And when he does snap, like in season 2, when he loses Appa, he feels regret. He feels bad by the way he treats people when he snaps. But it shows that somebody who always has a good positive vibe and good positive side, can have a bad side too. And this show is so great. The tone is great. Everything about Avatar The Last Airbender is great. It's phenomenal, guys. Okay, let me go and get into the actors. So Zach Tyler Eisen, he plays Aang, great. Mae Whitman, who's in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, by the way, she's Roxy. She's Katara, she does great. Jack D. Cena, Zakka, great. D. Bradley Baker, who's Appa, he's great. Like, Appa didn't really have much, he didn't talk much, but he did great though. Dante Bosco, who plays Zuko, phenomenal. Mako Iwamasu as Iroh, he did great until he passed away, and then Greg Baldwin takes over, he does great. Jesse Flower plays Toph, phenomenal. Gray DeLisi Azula, she's great. Freaking Mark Hamill is the Fire Lord. It's just crazy to think to me. He's awesome too. And Jason Isaac, who's in Harry Potter, who's in The Patriot, and he's like one of my most, I guess, favorite movie villains, one of my most hated movie villains. And The Patriot, Zhao, great. Who else is in here that you give a shout out to? Olivia Hack and Cricket Leahy play Ty Lee and Matt and May, great as well. Clancy Brown is freaking Lei Fong, what the heck. But yes, Mr. Crab is in my Avatar The Last Airbender series, and yes, Clancy Brown always gets props for me, so great. This is a great series, guys. You should definitely watch this series. Put it on when you want to watch a show to binge. It is phenomenal. You will not be disappointed if you're a cartoon lover and you love cartoon, you love anime, because this show takes a lot of references, it has a lot of Japanese influences, a lot of Western influence, or I guess it would be Eastern. Yeah, I guess Eastern influence. Yeah, it'd be Eastern influence. But a lot of Japanese culture is in martial arts culture, and it's done well. It's Eastern influence, because I feel like there's also Chinese culture influence on this series as well. But it is done so well. It is really phenomenal. It's great to watch. It's definitely a show worth watching. If you're definitely into cartoons and anime, watch Avatar The Last Airbender. You will not be disappointed. And yeah, that's all I got about this series. It's super great. It's great, phenomenal, and grading time. I feel like I already know my grade gonna be. Avatar The Last Airbender is A+. What more do you want me to explain about it? The acting is great, the voice acting is great, the writing is great, the storyline is great, 2D animation is great. There's a net keep running around here, guys. I don't think I got them, but it's whatever. It's great. The whole series is great. Watch Avatar The Last Airbender. It's A+. If you guys seen Avatar The Last Airbender, the whole series, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. I'm curious what your thoughts are. And thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns. See you next time, and keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about my series. Tell a friend about Grind Towards Success. Tell a friend about the Movie Breakdown series. If you really like these episodes, I really appreciate it. It means so much to me. It means so much. I can't tell you how much it means. Like it's like I'll be really grateful you just told a friend and share and subscribe to the series. And thank you guys for watching this. Also, if you want to follow my journey outside of YouTube or Facebook, you can go to my Instagram page, and you can follow me on my Instagram page at Ali_Zakka. It's right here. Put it right here in my face. That way you're like, where's his face at? Well, it's right behind the Instagram logo. Yeah, but you can follow me on my Instagram page. And also, if you want another episode of Grind Towards Success or Movie Breakdowns, you can watch the episode of Grind Towards Success right here. You can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Keep being awesome.